Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night is a poem written by Welsh poet Dylan Thomas. This is considered one of his finest works, and he wrote it for his dying father. This is an oral explication of the poem as read by me, Frances Bortz. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lighting, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way, do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death, who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. This poem explores the helplessness of growing old and someone inching towards death. It's also a poem about life and how life is lived. There's many symbols in the poem. For example, night is a symbol of death, signaling the ending. It sequesters one away from the light. Diction and figurative language are the key elements in this poem, while metaphors bring thought-provoking implications. For example, in the third stanza, Thomas writes, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced. This implies that one may fight to live because he's not yet lived up to his potential. Another example is in the fifth stanza, when Thomas writes, blind eyes could blaze like meteors. I think this shows that many men facing death suddenly realize that they could have done much more or had a greater impact in the world. All four men, the wise men, the good men, the wild men, and the grave men that he refers to, in the end, they all wanted more in life. But what I feel is most impactful was in the final stanza, where Thomas specifically addresses not the reader, but his own father. Because this is where the tone changes from a persuasive speech to more of a heartfelt plea, to which it ends, rage, rage against the dying of the light.